Welcome, yogis. Today's theme is going to be the earth. So the last practice we did all the elements. I just kind of contracted everything into one practice. It was fun. It was a little challenging, but from today onwards, the aim is to look at each element individually. And it plays well with me because what happens is each element brings its own focus on our practice. For example, earth is today's theme, focuses on being grounded, on being slow, methodical. And that's perfect for introducing yoga to beginners because you're not moving quickly. You have time to adjust your alignment. You have time to revise your alignment. So it's perfect for beginners. So all of you, I will request to get prone on your stomachs, lie down flat so that your heart is close to the earth. While I will request Ranjani, she has prepared, Ranjani, by the way, is our demonstration yogi, all the way from Bahrain. She will be singing us a little shlok or a mantra that she has prepared for this earth theme. So, Ranjani, over to you.
This is the Gayatri, Bhoomi Gayatri mantra. It says, Om Vasudharaya Vidhave Udathatriyai Dhimahi Tanno Bhumi Prachodayate. Meaning, O divine energy of earth, please bless me with higher intellect and illuminate.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ranjani. Unfortunately, I had technical difficulties, so the initial part was lost. So I don't know if the recording will come out all right. I will request you to repeat it at the end so that we get it. But I got the latter half, and as usual, Ranjani sounds so beautiful. She's a trained classical Indian classical singer. So there you go. So everybody, thank you again, Ranjani. Everybody lie down prone on your stomach. And slowly get into your breath. You can keep your arms by your side or palm on top of palm. Relax your forehead on your palm, whatever works. And first, of course, get in with your breath. Stay with your breath. So because you're lying prone, you will be breathing more into the back of your lungs. And that's the other fascination I have with yoga. Depending on your posture, there are different lung areas that you breathe more into. So when you twist, you breathe more into the sides of the lung that's expanding. So you kind of improve your overall lung capacity. And then bring your focus to our intention today of understanding the earth element, of how we manifest it in our yogic practice, and how we take those principles of the earth element and use them to bring a degree of stability in our sometimes chaotic lives. Gently push back to child's pose. You can keep your knees far apart so that your spine has space to lengthen between your knees, and your heart has the ability to move down closer towards the earth. And then from here, press down with your shins, press down with your palms. And using this rootedness, try and get your elbows up towards the ceiling and your tailbone back towards the wall behind. And then slowly come on to all fours, knees under hips. So you might need to walk your knees a little further forward, shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. And then as you inhale, move to cow, chin up, tailbone up, push your belly down, but strangely keep tightening your belly button in towards the spine. Exhale slowly to cat. So tucking your tailbone down and forwards towards your chin, tucking your chin in towards your chest, rounding your upper back, middle back, full stretch. 3 more rounds. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Two more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then come back to neutral. Once again, see if you can keep lengthening your spine. And then gently release your hips back down to the mat and tuck your knees in towards your chest. You're sitting with your knees drawn up. You're sitting with your hips on the mat, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Yeah, your ankles in front of you. So you're sitting down. Your hips are in touch with the earth. Your hips are touching the mat. Yeah, completely down. You might want to cross your ankles and then embrace your knees, pull your knees in towards each other, become a nice little tight ball, push your nose between your knees, and keep pushing your hips down into the mat, the fetal position where it all begins. Check in with your breath, and once again, you'd probably be breathing more into the back of your lungs. When you're ready, gently release and walk, slowly stand up using support. If you can manage to get up without support, great. and then walk all the way to the top of your mat. Keep your feet about hip width apart. Your heels lining up behind your second and third toes, pulling up your kneecaps, tailbone pointing down, spine growing tall, chin parallel to the floor, shoulders away from the ears, your fingertips gently but actively reaching down towards the floor. So you're kind of engaging the muscles in your arms, your shoulder blades gently pulling in towards each other. So this is your standing pose or your mountain pose. In many ways, this is your foundational pose for almost everything else. You'll find me cueing away from this in almost every pose. Things like shoulders away from the ears, drawing up your spine, tailbone pointing in a certain direction, pushing down with your feet. All these give you a sense of groundedness, of stability. And as you know, mountains are the very epitome of the earth, standing tall and proud, providing a sense of permanence, even though we know that even mountains slowly erode. When you're ready, inhale, palms circling all the way up. Reach up. Just remain tall and vertical. And then exhale slowly to your forward fold. So swan dive all the way forward and down, palms behind your calves or your ankles or the mat, wherever your beginning flexibility will take you. So don't struggle with your poses. Instead, gently go to a place where it is accessible and then move from there. So kind of slowly using that earth philosophy, open up gently, gently, gently. Inhale, come up halfway, spine reaching forward, chin up. A lot more weight on your toes as your hips line up over your heels. And then fold in again, bend your knees, fingertips on either side of your feet. So try not to keep your fingertips ahead of your feet, because when you get into your vinyasa, you'll end up misaligning your shoulders over your wrists. So if you end up with your wrists next to your feet, that is ideal. Take your right foot all the way back, as far back as you can, keeping your hips low. So you might need to slide your toes further back so that your right heel points up towards the ceiling, right knee straight, heart moving forward, chin up. Drop your right knee down. Inhale, circle your arms up. Keep pushing your hips down and forward, drawing in that energy. So you're scissoring in your right thigh forward, your left thigh, max you can do is push it down, but energetically you're trying to pull it back. So I know the way you are, you will not be able to take your left thigh back, but you're trying to get that scissoring action between your thighs. Slowly release your palms all the way down on either side of your front foot. Pick up your back knee, front foot all the way back to plank. For your plank to work, shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders, and push down into the earth with your palms and your toes. See if you can feel that rebound so that you can pull out of your shoulders and you kind of feel that your upper back is pushing up towards the ceiling. So though your shoulder blades might be gently drawing in towards each other, you get the feeling of your middle back, your upper back pushing up towards the ceiling. Then gently drop your knees down towards the mat. Take your hips slightly back, bend your elbows, heart down between your palms and chin on the mat. Knees, chest, chin. Again, a lovely pose to feel the earth. Keep your shoulders moving away from your ears. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other. So you're always energizing your arms and your shoulders. And then gently release your hips down to the mat. Release your toes down to the mat. Relax your toes. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart and you're growing tall through your toes. Your toes are lengthening towards the wall behind. Why do we do that? So that you remove that, you lengthen your lower back. You tend to ease the compression in your lower spine as you try to come up to baby cobra. So push the mat forward with your palms. Once again, you're interacting with the earth. You're using the earth to push the mat forward so that you get the lift with your heart. Now, notice that compression in your lower spine. Slowly release back all the way down to the mat. Tuck your toes in. Come up through your knees. Hips up and back, down dog. As you spread your fingers, index fingers parallel to one another, you're pushing down into the earth and equally you're externally rotating your arms at the shoulders, which means you're shining your armpits in towards each other. And as you do that, you continue to extend your spine even more. So your spine keeps growing taller, your tailbone keeps reaching up and back even more. Then you start pushing your thighs towards the wall behind. How do you manage that? You've got to engage your core. You've got to push the mat forward with your palms. So it just becomes one integrated whole. Unless you keep pushing the mat energetically forward with your palms, you're not going to get that rebound into the thighs to push them back towards the wall behind. Unless you keep taking your tailbone up and back, you will not be able to drop your heels down and forward. When you're ready, look forward between your fingertips, get your right foot all the way forward between your palms. So come up to your tippy toes and right foot forward between your palms. Keep your hips low, heart moving forward, always right knee just directly above your right ankle. Gently, gently drop your left heel and left knee down. Feel that connectedness with the earth. Sometimes the knee can feel a little funky on the mat. If that's you, then whenever you have your knee down, double up the mat. So from the side, just double up the mat so you have a little more cushion. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Reach up, go tall, keep pushing your tailbone down and forward. So we're just going to stay with these earthy poses, the poses that increase your stability. There is, if you notice, even in this pose, a gentle balance, but we're not pushing the balance button today. We're just pushing the stability button today. Circle your palms all the way down on either side of your front foot. Pick up your back knee, back foot all the way forward. Lift your hips up over your heels. Feet are above hip distance apart. Straighten your knees and see if you can deepen your forward fold by extending your spine even more. So your spine grows straighter. Your heart reaches down and forward before you pull it in towards your knees. And if you're feeling a little pressure behind your knees, straighten your knees. Because your hips are trying to reach above your heels, a little more weight in your toes may not harm. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep your chin up. Keep reaching your heart forward and then exhale all the way forward. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up, reach up to vertical. Push energetically with your palms in towards each other. So it's like you've got a block between your palms. You're pushing your elbows in, your palms in towards each other. And then exhale, palms in front of your heart. Check in with your breath. Check in with how you feel. When you're ready, inhale, circle your arms all the way up. If you want, put in a back bend, so gentle back bend with your fingertips reaching first up and then back. Inhale, come back to vertical. Exhale, forward fold. See if you can go a little deeper with your forward fold this time. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips on either side of your front foot, your left foot all the way back. Hips stay down, left knee straight, right knee over your right ankle. So if you find your knee popping forward, maybe just slide your left toes further back. So the minute you do that, your right knee will need to move back. Once again, see if you can get into the scissoring action. So your left thigh wants to move forward energetically. You're literally getting the movement from your left hip wanting to move forward, right hip wanting to move back. So that's how you generate that scissoring action between your legs. Push your left palm into the mat next to your right foot. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, circle your right arm up. Inhale, reach your right arm up even higher. Exhale, try and circle your right shoulder back so that it's over your left shoulder. Stay with this nice twist. Inhale, see if you can lengthen the left side of your torso even more. Exhale, see if you can lift your left ribs away from the mat even more. Slowly release your left palm down. Right foot goes all the way back to plank. Shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. Drop down to your knees. Hips slightly back. Start bending your elbows. Heart down to the mat, in between your palms, chin on the mat. Knees, chest, chin. Keep curling your tailbone up towards the ceiling as you draw your shoulders away from your ears, as you pull your elbows in towards each other, and then release your hips down towards the mat. Extend all 10 toes towards the wall behind. Stick your toes down towards the mat. Inhale, take your heart forward and up. So first take it forward, increase length of spine, then push up to full cobra. Keep your hip points on the mat. Keep extending your heart forward and up. Keep your neck a natural extension of your spine. Try not to jerk your chin up. No point. Squeeze your shoulder blades in a little bit if you can. If you're feeling a compression in your lower back, try and release down your heart a little bit. Extend your spine and then see if you can come up a little more. Staying with your breath. The cobra pose is another pose that plays off the earth. Most of your body is sticking to the earth. And it's that base that allows you to lift your heart up and work your back muscles. Exhale, slowly release all the way down. Tuck your toes in, come up through your knees, hips up and back, down dog. Spread your fingers, index fingers parallel to one another. Keep dropping your heels down to the mat. See if you can get your heels behind your second and third toes. Then see if you can internally rotate your thighs at the hips, which means your heels stay where they are. You are trying to kind of rotate your thighs in towards each other. So your outer thighs are trying to rotate in towards each other in the front. Look forward between your fingertips. Get your left foot all the way forward between your palms. Keep your left knee on top of your left ankle. If you need to, slide your right toes back. Now, the minute you slide your right toes back, you're doing the opposite of the scissoring action. So I want you to reach your right toes as far back as you can to the limit. The limit generally is your right heel pointing up towards the ceiling, and then start your scissoring action. So start pushing your right hip forward, left hip back, right thigh wanting to move forward through space, left hip wanting to move back. That creates your scissoring action. When you're ready, get your right palm next to left foot. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, push your left shoulder back towards the wall behind. Inhale, extend the right side of your torso. Exhale, push your right ribs further up, away from the mat. Slowly release your left palm down. Get your back foot all the way forward in between your palms. Knees straight, hips moving over your heels, extending your spine and then pulling in towards your best forward fold that you can manage. Inhale, come up halfway. Chin up, heart extending forward, more weight in your toes than your heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle all the way up and maybe back. And release, palms in front of your heart. Stay with your breath. So if you notice, we're really going slow today. We're paying attention to alignment. So just like the earth took its time for formation, it is said that, if the life of the earth were compressed into a 24-hour period, humans appeared on the earth just in the last 2 minutes. And yet look at the kind of changes we've brought onto the earth. The United Nations has just released the climate change report. It's a pretty damning indictment of what humans have done to the planet. And it's just coincidence that our practice on the earth today nearly coincides with that UN Earth report. So if you wish to use your practice to see what you can do at your individual level to prevent climate change. The United Nations report is pretty clear that climate change is now irreversible and that we've written our own death sentence, which I know sounds terrible, but the writing was on the wall a long time ago. Did we really listen? So if nothing else, let your practice be that listening, not only to what is around you, but also to your inner voice. What do you do with your sense of guilt when you use plastic? What do you do to your sense of guilt when you are tempted to eat fast food? What do you do to your sense of guilt when you do not recycle as much as you should? Inhale, take your arms all the way up, reach back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fingertips on either side of your feet, bend your knees, get your right foot all the way back. Drop your right heel down, heel to arch alignment. So left heel in line with right arch. Once again, try and keep your hips low. Try and already start pushing down into the outer edge of your right foot. Keep that right knee extended, right knee strong. Extend your right arm. Inhale, circle up, warrior two. Come all the way up. So push off the earth and yet root down. The more you push the outer edge of your right foot into the earth, the more you will find the ability to then straighten your right knee. Then find that energy moving from the earth through your right leg into your left hip, which you then start pushing forward and down towards your left ankle. Then bring your focus on your left knee. See if you can keep pushing it out to the side. So externally rotating the left thigh at the hip will help doing that. Drop your right palm down, left palm up and back, reverse your warrior. Inhale, increase the left side of your torso, increase the length of the left side of your torso. Exhale, contract the right side of your torso, but keep pushing down equally into both your feet, a little more into the outer edge of your right foot. Inhale, come back, warrior two. Exhale, intense side stretch, whatever level you're practicing at. Left forearm to left thigh. Turn your right palm up, right arm across. If you wish to, left palm all the way down to your left ankle, but push your right shoulder further back. Keep reaching across with your right palm. Push deeper into the earth with your right outer edge of your right foot. Inhale, come back, warrior two. Windmill your arms around. Left foot all the way back to plank. Stay with your breath. Hold your plank for a bit. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Yogi's choice. So assume Ranjani will do the chaturanga, pushing heels forward. Bend your elbows. Keep taking your heart forward, chin up. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Flatten all 10 toes on the mat. Slide your palms behind so that your wrists are in line with your last rib. Push up to up dog. So lift your hip points off the mat, but push all 10 toes into the mat even more. Straighten your elbows. Shoulders actively pushing away from the ears. So you're imagining your heart pushing up towards your ceiling so that your shoulders move down and away from your ears, or rather your ears keep levitating up. Then attention to your shoulder blades. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other so that you feel like you're popping your heart out from your ribs. Stay with your breath. Keep pushing down into all 10 toes. And then slowly release all the way back down to the mat. Tuck your toes in, come up through your knees, hips up and back, down dog. From down dog, I'm going to ask you to very slowly move into dolphin, but don't move yet. Listen, if you can, start bending both your elbows at exactly the same time, very slowly, and bring them down to the mat. If that is difficult, do it one elbow at a time, depending on your ability to take it into the core. Once you've got your elbows down to the mat, make sure your forearms are parallel to one another. Your fingers are spread. Your index fingers are parallel to one another. And now see if you can push down into the mat and then push your elbows forward. So push the mat forward with your elbows without actually sliding your elbows forward. You're just basically using the earth to push the mat forward with your elbows so that your shoulders move back towards your knees. If you're comfortable, stay here. If you want, come up to your tippy toes, walk your feet forward towards your elbows, keeping your knees straight, taking your hips even higher. So let the movement start from your hips. First, push your tailbone up as high as you can and as back as you can, and then tiptoe your feet forward as much as you can. If you find your shoulders kinking forward, stop. So keep pushing your shoulders back, and then walk your feet back to where they belonged, where they came from. Now, pushing your palms on the mat, see if you can get both your elbows off the mat at the same time, otherwise one at a time, pushing your hips up and back to down dog. Look forward between your palms, get your right foot all the way forward between your palms. Drop your left heel down, right heel in line with left arch, feet are perpendicular to one another. Your hips continue to move down and forward. Make sure your right knee is above your right ankle. If it isn't, you probably can move your left foot further back. Straighten your left arm. Inhale, circle your left arm all the way up to warrior two. Push down actively into the outer edge of your left foot. Strongly straighten your left knee. Get that strength in your left leg. Then using that pressure on the outer edge of your left foot, see if you can use that energy from the earth traveling up your left leg to push your right hip forward and then down towards your ankle. Then see if you can use that energy traveling through your left leg up through your spine, lengthen your spine, but relax your shoulders away from the ears, push out through your fingertips, drop your left palm down, turn your right palm up, take your right palm, circle your right palm all the way up to reverse warrior. Push your left palm down. No, Ranjani, the other way, reverse your warrior. Yes, thank you. Left palm down, right palm up. Inhale, increase the length of the right side of your torso. Exhale, contract into the left side of your torso. Inhale, circle back, warrior two. Exhale, move to intense side stretch with your right forearm on your right thigh. Turn your left palm up to the sky and then over and across, left arm next to left ear. If you want to, reach your right palm down to your right ankle, maybe graze the fingertips on the mat. Exhale, keep pushing your left shoulder back towards the wall behind. Stay with your breath. See if you're losing contact with the outer edge of your left foot into the mat. If you are, re-engage. See if your left knee has started to bend. If it is, set it straight again. Find the strength in your pose. Find the rootedness, the groundedness in your pose. Inhale, circle back up, warrior two. Windmill your arms all the way down on either side of your front foot, back foot all the way forward. Deep forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up and back. Exhale, release, palms in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Stay with your breath. Even though you may not realize it, like on an everyday level, you are of the earth. So you eat what the earth grows. So your vegetables, your fruits, and if you're non-veg, the goats, cows, and chicken all eat from the earth. And therefore, literally, you're formed of the molecules of the earth. So somehow your physical being magically converts the atoms and molecules of the earth to make you. And as you know, you yourself are not a constant. You yourself are in a state of change. Every cell in your body ultimately dies, is excreted away, and is replaced by a new one. So it's a magical machine. You draw your energy from the sun. You use the elements, the sun, the earth, the water, the fire, to keep creating a new you, literally every second. And yet you don't feel any difference. Yet you feel it's the same you. For some reason, you have this impression of continuity. Your memory says that you're the same person. There is no discontinuity. And yet we know people with Alzheimer's experience discontinuity. People with bipolar, with schizophrenia, experience discontinuity. When you go into a coma and have no recollection of what has happened, you experience a discontinuity. So what is alive? And what is you? Is it your physical body, which keeps changing? You're literally not the same atoms and molecules that you were born with. Is it your brain? Is it your memory? Which has lapses, it's imperfect. And you're just hallucinating a sense of unity, a sense of ego, that you're the same person, different from other beings. Or are you really that different from the earth, from which you've arisen and into which you shall dissolve? Inhale, circle your arms all the way up, reach back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips on either side. Get your left foot all the way back. As far back as it'll go. Now, release your left heel down, heel to heel alignment, or if you want, a little away. So there is a gap between your heels. So you're not in the same straight line. Here, remember that scissoring action I was talking to you about? Start getting that into play. Left hip moving forward, right hip moving back. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up to warrior one. Reach up. Push down into the outer edge of your left foot. Keep your left knee straight, but draw your tailbone down and forward. From here, see if you can restart that scissoring action of your left thigh wanting to move forward, your right thigh wanting to move back, your hip points facing forward. Inhale, reach your fingertips even higher up. Exhale, circle your palms down behind you. Interlace your fingers behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other. Extend your elbows. Reach your palms down behind your knee. Take your heart up, but keep pushing your tailbone down and forward. That is your anchor. How do you maintain your anchor? By pushing your back foot outer edge down into the mat. If you want, tilt your chin up to the ceiling. Inhale, first just straighten your spine. Exhale, release your tailbone down and forward even more. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, tilt forward so that you're at 45 degrees all the way from your left heel, reaching forward towards your fingertips, but you're remaining at 45. So your arms remain next to your ears. Your arms remain next to your ears. You're reaching your heart forward and up at 45 degrees. You're engaging your core, but at the same time, you're remaining rooted to the earth. So this is the fire and the earth elements together. Your fire has to be based on the earth. Inhale, come back to vertical. Exhale, windmill your palms all the way down to the mat. Get your front foot all the way back to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, yogi's choice. All the way down to the mat. Relax all 10 toes on the mat. Release your arms on either side of your torso. Palms facing down. Bend both your knees so that your heels come close to your hips. Your knees remain on the mat. Walk your fingertips back as far back as you can so that your heart starts lifting off the mat. Then lift your fingertips off the mat. See if you can reach for your ankles at exactly the same time. If you can't, it's okay. One ankle and then the next. Push your feet strongly back. Keep your knees on the mat. So that starts taking your heart up. You're engaging your shoulders. Your elbows are straight. Gently, the movement comes from your glutes, your hamstrings. You're pushing your feet back. Your quads are strongly engaging. Then if you want, release your knees up towards the ceiling, your toes up towards the ceiling, your heart up towards the ceiling, very gently. Slowly release the pose. Palm on top of palm, your forehead on your palm, relax. Release your palms under your shoulder. Tuck your toes in, come up through your knees, hips up and back. Down dog. Once again, I will request you to move into dolphin, but see if you can release both your elbows down at the same time. If you can't, one elbow down and then the other, very gently. Then if you can, walk your feet in towards your elbows, come up on your tippy toes, walk your feet in, then release your heels back down, but keep your shoulders pushing back. Strongly lift your heart up towards the ceiling and back towards the edge of the room. Then, if you can, take your right leg up. Keep your hips level. Reach your right toes further up. Push your shoulders back. See if you've got the space to take your shoulders further back. Literally, your forearms are hugging the earth, increasing the grip in your core to take your tailbone back, right toes up and back. Release your right foot down next to your left foot. Inhale, spine tall, take your left leg up and back. Reach up, reach back with your left toes. Hug the earth with your forearms. Push down into the earth. A little more pressure on the outer edge of your palms. Collect your core together. Push your tailbone up and back, and then release your left foot down. Walk your feet back to where you started from. And then see if you can take your elbows back up into down dog, either one at a time or both together, depending on your comfort. Look forward, get your left foot all the way forward between your palms. Drop your, from here, first practice the scissoring action. So left knee over your left ankle. If not, drag your right toes further back. Right thigh wants to come forward, right hip wants to come forward, left hip wants to move back. Drop your right heel down, heel to heel or a little distance between your heels. Your right toes pointing in at 45 degrees, outer edge of your right foot pushing in, right hip pushing forward, left hip pushing back. Inhale, circle up, warrior one. Reach up. Keep pushing your tailbone down and forward. Inhale, reach your fingertips up. Exhale, tailbone down and forward. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, circle your palms behind you. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Shoulders away from your ears. Then travel your palms lower down behind your right leg, heart moving up, chin up, tailbone down and forward. Stay with your breath. Inhale, vertical spine. Exhale, tailbone down and forward. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up to vertical. Exhale, tilt forward at 45 degrees. Reach forward with your fingertips as you push the outer edge of your right foot down into the mat. Once again, you're using the earth to draw it into your core. Inhale, come back to vertical. Exhale, windmill your palms all the way down, either side of your front foot. Get your back foot all the way forward between your palms. Straighten your knees, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, palms in front of your heart. Stay with your breath for a bit. Try to assimilate what you've practiced. It's been a slow flow, much like the earth. Takes its own time, but it's very certain about where it's moving. You get your alignment wrong, you can do more damage than good. Gently release down to the mat. Stay seated on the mat. So keep your hips towards the rear end of your mat. So slide all the way back if you need to. Extend your right leg completely in front of you so that your right thigh is neutral in the pelvis. Bend your left knee, drop your left knee down to the side. Stick your left sole of the foot to your right thigh, your left heel as close to the groin as you can. Try to make sure that your left knee reaches down to the mat. So your hips are hopefully level. You're not kind of externally rotating your left hip outwards. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Reach up, become nice and tall. You're going to the seated postures, which give you a sense of grounding. Exhale, keep reaching forward with your fingertips as you forward fold your heart onto your leg. But maintain that stretch onto your fingertips. Reach forward with your fingertips. Keep that spine tall. And then hold on to whatever part of your leg that you can, either the calf or the ankle or the foot. Keep your chin up so you're reminded to keep your spine tall. Reach your heart down as much as you can. You're using your hips to push down your mat, down and back, so that you get the energy to reach your heart forward. See if you can assume a stance of humility as you lower your heart down towards your knee. Inhale, slowly circle your arms all the way back up. Get your right palm on your left knee. Maintaining the length of your spine, get your left palm behind your tailbone. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, keep twisting. Keep engaging your right ankle. Flex your right ankle. Stay with your breath. Slowly release. Straighten out your left knee so that your left thigh is neutral in the pelvic joint. And switch to the right knee. So right knee bends, drops over to the right, right foot pushing into your left thigh, right knee down to the earth, right heel close to the groin as far as possible, left ankle flexing strongly. Inhale, circle your arms up, reach up, spine tall, draw your lower back in. Exhale, keep reaching through your fingertips, keeping that length in the spine, forward fold. Hold on to whatever part of your left leg you can, either the calf, under the knee, under the ankle, or hold on to your foot. Push your hips down and back into the mat to increase the length of your spine, and then release your heart down to your knees. Initially, keep your chin up. When you feel you've got sufficient length in your spine, assume an intention of humility. Drop your heart down towards your knee. Inhale, circle your arms back up, maintaining the length of your spine. Reach up, and then maintaining the length in your spine, get your left palm on your right knee, your right palm behind your tailbone. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, twist, keeping your left ankle flexed. Slowly release and move into your most comfortable Shavasana. Take your time, completely lie down. Get into your breath and feel which parts of your anatomy are in touch with the earth or with the mat. Focus your attention on that layer of you that is in touch with the earth. Then see if you can mentally remain in that space, that sliver of space between you and the earth. Relax as much as you can into the earth, so you increase the surface of contact. and mentally stay in that space between you and the earth. What separates you from the earth? What makes you different? Whenever you're ready, fold your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice little hug, roll over to your right, come up to seated, and I'm going to request Ranjani to please invoke that Bhoomi Gayatri mantra again. I'm going to try to unmute her. And Ranjani, Ranjani, can you say something so we know you're...
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you gently guide us out of the practice with your mantra? And the rest of you can sit wherever is comfortable, maybe palms in front of your heart. Stay with your breath.
Divine energy of Mother Earth, bless me with higher intellect and do shower on me your blessings and illuminate my mind.
Thank you very much, Ranjani, for that lovely invocation. I'll see you again on Sunday. Thank you.